Hey, evening everybody, or morning, if you will. It's about, I'm trying to see the time, it's about 3:08. And I thought I'd kind of do this little bit of an advice video for a lot of people out there. Now, I haven't really done an advice video in a while, but this is hopefully will be a lot more helpful and hopefully not confusing. But what this video is about is trying to help those out there that may have trouble with the Wi-Fi signals. Now, here's what I mean. Last week, or about a week ago, a little over that, I was having trouble with my Wi-Fi signal. Now, I called up the cable company. Now, apparently something was going on that affected the cable. Now, in case you paid attention to the weather and all that, you knew that out here in California it was very frigid in certain areas. It was very cold, very Arctic-like. We were one of the areas that got that Arctic-like weather because not a lot of things were working right, mostly Wi-Fi. So I called up the cable company, explained the situation, and they said maybe what it is your modem, because they could read off exactly what's going on off the computers, and they noticed that our modem wasn't getting the signal that it should get for us to have proper internet. So basically, long story short, after several automatic phone calls that they keep giving us, and as a customer saying, "Oh, you need to upgrade, you need to upgrade, you need to upgrade," finally I conceded and upgraded to what you see here in the background. But here was the catch, though, a catch that I kept wondering about. It's like what is wrong with this Wi-Fi, this home Wi-Fi, because that's the Wi-Fi name for the modem, home, even though it's under the name of automatic telecommunications something, or AASS. I know it sounds like ass there, but it's actually AAS telecommunications something, whatever. It's something like that. It's basically telecommunications gateway or something like that. But long story short, I kept wondering why the Wi-Fi wasn't working properly. I mean, it was working properly. Don't get me wrong. Wrong. It worked properly for what I'm using here, the Kindle. It worked properly for the PS4 for a little bit. It, and it still does. I'm pretty sure it does. It's just I'm not going to take a chance anymore on that. It works properly for the Blu-ray player in the living room, the Wii U in the rec room, and the Wii U in the Wii in the guest room. So it worked properly all over, except for uh, the computer in the rec room. Now, the Wi-Fi antenna that we have in there is a Netgear Wi-Fi antenna. Now, you've probably seen it in some of my videos. It's basically a Wi-Fi antenna that's wired in. Basically, my cousins, you see, because basically one of my cousins that's half a year older than me, was living with me and my mom for a while due to personal reasons. And basically, he and his brother brought in this computer as a thank you gift for my mom and me, for taking him in. So what they did, and it was also to help him out. It was also to help him out. So what they did was they connected this Netgear antenna to the hard drive, to the tower of the computer, and that was the only way they got Wi-Fi signal. They also got it and the way they got the Wi-Fi signal was through the Wi-Fi thing that the first Wi-Fi router, or the first router that we had from Comcast, and of course through the Linsky router that I had bought one time before. Anyway, long story short, and I know I sound like a broken record saying that, for some odd reason the Netgear wasn't reading this very well. So what I did is I took the table, which is right here, moved it from there, took this tower that you see here in the background, I believe, moved it here, put the Wi-Fi modem on top of it, and the signal seemed to be a little stronger, to the point that I was getting a little bit of decent Wi-Fi signal to be able to search the internet with. Now, another thing was I did press the WPS button, and that kind of helped out too. And it worked for a while, but then lately it started to go a little nuts again. It started to get a little crazy. Yesterday, I'll give you a prime example. The weather was nice and everything, but all of a sudden, the Wi-Fi wasn't working right. Now, I first found out by looking online that one of the possible reasons for this was that when you get something like this from your internet provider, whether it's Comcast, AT&T, AT&T Uverse, Verizon, DirecTV, Dish, whoever, Cablevision, whoever, that when you get something like this from your internet provider, there's always going to be the catch that you don't know about, that they don't tell you about. And that catch is there's a possibility that it could become that it will automatically not only will it automatically secure your Wi-Fi for your house only, and for those around that live in your house or in your household and all that know the password besides you, so they can, like, let's say, use the Kindles or the Androids or whatever. But the one catch that neither of your providers may tell you about, depending on who they are, is that your Wi-Fi tower will automatically also become a hotspot. A hotspot similar to, let's say, something you would get at a Starbucks or a McDonald's. Something like that. So basically, in a sense, they're saying that, yeah, your internet, your Wi-Fi is secure, but in a sense it's not secure, because we're automatically making your Wi-Fi modem a hotspot right off the bat, even though it's kind of like secure and not secure. So here's the thing you need to do, and it does help a little bit. I've noticed that it does help. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to your internet provider's website, whether it's a cable provider, satellite provider, phone provider, doesn't matter. Go to it, follow the instructions that you could find online, because I'm pretty sure you can. That's how I found my instructions to do it. Follow the instructions and disable the hotspot option, so that helps bring back some of that signal that you lose. And it does help. Believe me, it does. But here's the problem, though. Even though you've done it, you're going to have people around you, neighbors and the like, that are going to have similar Wi-Fi routers, modems, provided probably by the same people or by different providers, but are very similar, if not the same thing, that are also going to have hotspots that they have yet to deactivate. You see, you got to depend on them to deactivate the hotspots that are automatically turned on because of their routers when they get them. Because if not, that takes not only away their signal a bit, it takes away your signal as well. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's true. So here's an option. Here's a little bit of advice, a little bit of an option that you can do in case something like that happens. What you can do is you can take the router, the Wi-Fi router that you had before. Like I took my Linsky's one here, and you can connect it to the Wi-Fi modem router that your provider, your cable internet provider, whoever it is, sent you or gave you. And then that way, you will have not one, but two Wi-Fi signals to choose from. Just in case one doesn't work the way it's advertised, you can always go to the one that you know that has worked properly for you in the past. And for me, I've noticed a big difference. I've noticed, excuse me for a second. Again, like I said, I've noticed, for me, for example, I've noticed a big difference. For example, when I would watch a YouTube video using the home Wi-Fi signal, sometimes the video will be starting and be seen at 144p. But when I would switch over to the Linsky's Wi-Fi signal, it automatically jumps up to 360, which is kind of strange. Now, again, the only thing that I can look at, in my opinion, is the fact that there are other people around me that have the same kind of modem, the same kind of Wi-Fi modem, and it's running off the same security type signal as mine is. See, mine runs off the same as theirs, a WPA2-PSK signal. Well, the Linsky one runs off a WPA-PSK. Sounds strange, right? Well, there's another person here in town, here around this area, that has a Wi-Fi router known as Daniels. They named it Daniels. And they have the same thing. They have a WPA-PSK signal, and they get good enough signal. They do. It may not be five. I mean, it is 5 bars at times. Sometimes it's 3 bars like mine is, but it jumps. It all depends. But it seems that. But what I'm getting at is when I use my alternate or my alternative Wi-Fi, which is the Linsky's. When I use the alternative Wi-Fi, which is the Linsky's, I get a better signal. It may not be the 5-bar signal, but it's still a better signal. Which is strange because you think if something gives you a 5-bar signal of Wi-Fi, it's supposed to be better. Now, don't get me wrong. The home Wi-Fi signal does work, and it works great. But it all depends on who's around you. It also all depends on whether or not those people that have the same kind of modem will shut down that hotspot so that they get not only back their signal, but you get yours back as well. I'll give you an example. And I'll give you an example of one thing. You got to watch out for those that will temporarily bring in other modems, even if it's just for a day or a week or so. Because even if, let's say, they're there for a day taking care of stuff, like let's say they're from a company and they got to use their Wi-Fi signal and stuff like that to get the job done, that will take away from your Wi-Fi signal because they will not have, because they're drawing in all the signals to them because of one thing. Not only is a similar modem and router and Wi-Fi signal the same, if not similar, but it's also the fact that they have not turned off the hotspot that the modem is automatically providing. So that kind of hurts you along with other people. So that's one thing you got to watch out for. And that's the one thing I do advise is you look at the bottom hand screen, the left bottom hand screen of your computer screen. You look at the bottom hand left and you look at those bar signals, either the straight bars or the little circle bars. You look at it, click on it, wait for a sec, kind of put your mouse's arrow on top of it, wait for a second, click on it, and then see what other network signals are out there to see who might probably be screwing you out of a proper signal. Again, like I mentioned at the start, I know it sounds confusing, but that's what you need to do. Click on that area at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen where the bars are to see what other network signals are out there, to see what's screwing you over. But in closing, again, my advice is go and use the router you've had before, connect it to your new Wi-Fi modem, whether you bought one or you've had it provided by your internet provider, and use the other Wi-Fi router as an alternative just in case something happens. So that's my advice to anybody that's having trouble with the Wi-Fi. Let me know what you guys think about it and comment down below. I would appreciate hearing from you guys, and take care. And again, best option you're going to have as an alternative in case you have trouble with your Wi-Fi. So peace out. God bless.